everybody, it's me again. Today I want to talk to you about a found footage documentary style movie, a recent one, so I think a lot of people have seen it, from 2023, Late Night with the Devil, directed by Cameron Carnan. Gets 7 on IMDb, which is a huge number. That's huge for a found footage. And now people say it's not a found footage. Even it takes place in the 70s. So the video was recorded and then put back in to see what happened in the 70s. So it's basically found footage. They found the footage from back in the 70s, and they put it in VHR or whatever, because it was a cassette probably, and they saw what happened. And this is just a great movie. So you got Jake Delroy. He's the host. He's a presentator. You got the introducer Gus. He's always giving Gus a hard time. He's a little bit fat, he's bald, he's this and that and that. And there's a Halloween special coming up, because at that time in the 70s there were only 2 talk shows, apparently, his and the one from Johnny Carson. And Johnny Carson was the greatest talk show there was, and he wanted to up the game and be better than Johnny Carson. So he wants to make this one really count. So he invites a medium that can talk with spirits. The great, what's his name? The great Christo. And eventually he is talking to someone. He's talking to someone in the audience, and you're this and you're that, and he just, no, I'm not that, and yes, but okay. And that was a planted person, but Christo didn't know that. And then he goes to a lady and a younger lady, and they say, you lost somebody, and she says yes, and he was a soldier or something, and he said yes, and he's being grateful to you, and he forgives you, and he wants you to have a great life. So sorry, checking the mic. So he that sounded real, right? And then at some point he gets a seizure or something. He starts to, there's something here in the audience. There's something in the audience called, I'm not sure what he said. It's Lynn or something. A Lynn is there in the audience. Please call me and say who it is. Please. And nobody answers, and then eventually he goes backstage. He wants to get the fuck out of here. Open the fucking gates. Open the fucking gate. Okay, listen. Keep calm. You can get out in a few minutes. Then they bring in a skeptic, Carmichael Haig, who is a debunker, a skeptic, and he immediately says, yes, this idiot just playing mind tricks on these people. I am not an idiot, and I am not an imposter. And then eventually, yes you are, these people were planted. Come on, Jake. And then Christo pukes all over him, black puke, like oil almost. And he's like, oh, this was my tweet blazer I got from someone, who the fuck? And an ambulance is called, and Christo is being hauled in the ambulance. Now, apparently, Christo died in the ambulance. He had a seizure and just died. And nobody knows this except for Jack Delroy and his promoter. And he doesn't want Gus to know because Gus is really religious, and if he knows that happened, then he thinks something's wrong with the show. So they go on further. They bring in June Ross Mitchell, a psychiatrist that works with the paranormal, and she has Lily with her. Lily is basically, what happened was a cult that sacrificed them all, and a little girl came out of it, and they killed themselves all, and the girl survived. Now apparently this Lily girl has paranormal powers. She thinks she's possessed because they were a demonic cult. And at some point, Jack Delroy wants her to see a possession, and she said, "No, no, 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 no. Let's see the audience. Want the audience to see that?" And yes, yes, okay, okay. If everybody works together, everybody is silent, we'll do this. And then, okay, after the break, we'll see a real life possession. And then she's of course angry at him because she didn't want to do this because it's very dangerous, and eventually she does it, and the girl gets this almost Reagan-like face from The Exorcist, green eyes and dirty teeth, and the hair over her, and she's looking at Jack Delroy, and she sees, "Your wife is behind you," because he lost his wife to cancer. And he also said Millie was, well, I said Millie was the medium said, he also said that Millie was his chosen name for her. Your wife is still in the tall trees. You know what I mean. You get your fame. And she's like, this nothing, tall trees and whatever the fuck it is. And then eventually she's levitating, and okay, and June she has this necklace that ends the possession, and she says, "Stop it now. I evoke you, demon," and she falls on the ground and she's gone. And she's not gone. She doesn't want to come back, and he slaps her, and she eventually is. She's crying. She's back to herself. Although I think she's sort of hiding it because she's always smiling and looking at the camera, and then looking at Jake like this creepy look. She says, "Jake, I think you're gonna get what you want," because yeah, it's weird. Eventually, okay, this is a spoiler review, right? So of course the debunker, he's like, "Oh, everybody's so gullible here. Did everybody believe that?" Everybody said yes. Okay, I'm gonna do this same thing that Dr. June did, and I'm gonna do this to Gus. Okay, Gus is sitting there, and then he's using a hypnotic trick, by looking at a round square, and he's basically at that moment under the spell of the debunker, Carmichael, and he's saying, Oh, you have some blood here. Oh, no, it's a worm. What? I hate worms. I hate worms. Oh, yeah, I feel something squirming. And he takes his shirt off, and all these worms are scribbling. It's a nasty scene, actually. And no, worms everywhere. Oh, they stick all his clothes out to his underwear, and then he says, "Relax, relax. There are no worms." And then he eventually snaps out of him. So basically, and then he's, of course, he's really he's a little bit shy, of course. Now he goes to the back and just puts his clothes on back, and okay, he eventually Jake Delrose says, "Okay, that's a neat trick," and then June says, "That's total bullshit. That's just hypnosis. What we did was calling out a demon, not hypnotics. Oh, demons. It's all the same word for fraud and the bullshit and this and that." And Gus, okay, there's a break, and Gus says, "We have to stop this, Jake. I found out that Christo died. We have to stop this. This is madness. This is demonic madness. We got to stop it." As, "No, are you crazy? Do you see our numbers were going up, 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 up? No. Okay, come on, the show's beginning." And he's following him. He's introducing him again, and this and this and that. And then what happens is basically the demon wants to show herself again, and Dr. June says, "No, no, no, don't do it. No, 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 it's fine, Dr. June, it's fine." And she starts to levitate and starts to basically kill everybody in not in the audience, but all the audience is running around. She is like, she first kills Dr. June, and she has this because she takes the necklace she has and revokes the demon out of her, and the necklace starts to spin around. That eventually her head her head is being almost decapitated by the spinning around. Then Gus comes with a little cross, and eventually what happens with him? He burns to death, and the other, what happened to him? He gets his head, he gets decapitated or something. He gets fucked up, and then that was the best scene. The asshole who he promised if he saw one real paranormal thing, he would offer $100,000. So he's giving him the check and calling him the Lord of Flies, because that's a common name for a demon. And he eventually gets burned from the inside out, and his eyes pop out and burn, and it's just great. And then Jack Delroy is still in the room. He can't get out, and eventually he goes back. He sees then some weird shit happening, like he's on shrooms, and he sees the tall trees. Then he sees his wife sitting on a bed, and then she says, "You finally got what you had. Now please kill me completely, because she has cancer. Please kill me, please." And he takes a dagger and kills her, and he's crying, and eventually everybody in the audience is clapping and this and that. And what happens is, okay, so he basically says, "Turn it off, turn it off, don't see it, turn it off." And that's how the movie ends. So it's basically almost like Halloween 3 with Tom Atkins when he's crying, "Don't turn the TV on, don't let them see it, don't let them see it," because it's also a spell. What happened is, and the demon said, I met you in the tall trees. Basically, what happens is there was a rich people go to this specific location. It's only for the privileged people, and they're holding parties there, but also doing occult stuff. And apparently, someone said, "Do you want to make it?" "Yes." "Okay, then you have to offer me something." "Who?" "Your wife." So he basically wanted to be so successful that he basically gave his fucking wife cancer, and then he regretted it. But basically, he's an asshole. He's an actual asshole because he gave his fucking wife cancer to get the numbers he needed to be higher than fucking Johnny fucking Carson. So what a fucking asshole is Jake fucking Delroy. Jesus fucking Christ, right? I, that you know. So I mean, it's clever that the demon said, "You're in the tall. I met you in the tall trees," and that was something. And there, this, and the ghost of his wife was standing behind him, but bald, of course. And then she sees him again, and she says, "We finally got what you wanted. Now kill me, please." And it's, and then he's almost sorry that he did it, and it actually he didn't want to do it, and he's rethinking it now, and it's too late, of course. And oh, he's such a motherfucker, such an asshole. He had a great relationship because they were the couple of the year, and then he wants to, but he's Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson is better, but he's still great. But he wants, greed. Greed eventually is a mortal sin, and that will happen. Greed isn't for free. And everything the devil says you're gonna get, but you're gonna be fucked over because the devil wants something else in return. So it's a great movie. It creeped me out. It, I sat on the tip of my chair. The debunker, he was great. The crystal guy, I didn't. He was because he was talk. Nah, he didn't come over real, but Dr. June Ross Mitchell, that's the psychiatric, paranormal psychiatric. She was real. Lily was also, the girl Lily played a really creepy part. The moment she gets in, she's running in from excitement and seeing the camera, laughing, and then keep looking at the camera. And then Jake Delroy says, "Sweetie, you don't need to look at the camera." Okay. And then saying that June thinks you're a good-looking man, and she says that, and June blushes and things like that. And yeah, I mean, everybody did play great. And the moment everything starts to happen, the demon comes out, her eyes become like these laser beams, and everybody that stood in her way, Dr. June, Gus with the cross, and then the debunker who really he wants to give the check. He gets fucked up. I'm really happy that asshole got fucked up, you know, because that was such an asshole. Oh, such because he was asking at some point he was asking Jake for the parties he's going because you know the parties, the orgies. And Jake's what? And then yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We'll talk later. So he's just a sleaze bag and ah. Fuck. He has talent, yes, but he's a sleazebag, sleazebag, and he's so at some point he has a check and he wants for 50,000, but he's so sure now of himself that he wants to make it $100,000, and trying to debunk the fact that the possession, the possession moment that Lily had, she fucking if she looked at her face at that time, how the fuck would she get green lizard like eyes, dirty like teeth, and can see people's future and whatever and what and past? Okay, even then he doesn't believe. Even then he doesn't believe, and that she's levitating. I mean, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, and he's even Carmichael, the debunker, is even mad at Jake because you guys just helped him and helped him do this shit. You're helping the people to believe this shit. And he said, no, we didn't have anything to do with it. So yeah, it's. I mean, to finish this review, my final thoughts. It gets a 7, a deserved 7. I would even give it an 8 out of 10. For me, it's an 8 out of 10, not a 7, an 8 out of 10, because this is one of the first. Uh, I'm still saying it's a found footage because it plays in the 70s, and we, as the people who see it, are seeing it from back. A tape that's put in. You see, I think you see a blue screen, and then I mean, we see it. Okay, we see it as an art, or it's a mockumentary. I don't give a shit. It's a footage mockumentary or a found footage mockumentary or just a found footage, but it's great in these three topics. Not everybody dies, but the way, but basically Jake Delroy, okay, he becomes famous or more famous than Johnny Carson, but he is now just a living wreck, and he got what he wanted, but he had to do something fucked up. He eventually had to see, his wife died of the cancer, but then he had to kill her again, but with a knife. He had to kill her to get what he wanted. Jesus fucking Christ. It's creepy, it's unsettling, it's well acted, and it's one of the better, I think, in my opinion, it's one of the better horror movies of this year, of 2020, 2023. It's one of the better movies of 2023, better horror movies. So, if you don't, I normally you should have seen it. If not, Late Night with the Devil. Go watch it, and you'll enjoy it.